you lovely people. Today we're going to talk about simple interest and how we can calculate interest, either that has to be paid back on a loan or that you make on an investment. So let's dive into the equation or the formula for simple interest. And it is I equals PRT. My mom likes to say I like to party. She's crazy. All right, so let's look at these words. The I means interest. That's the amount of money you'll either pay back or earn from your principal investment or what you loan. Oh my gosh, guys, why can't I spell? Principal. Oh my gosh, I think that's wrong. Times rate times time. This is why I do not teach English. This would stress me out all day long. Okay, so anyways, just go with me, friends. All right, so interest equals principal times rate times time, right? This is the formula that you really need to know when you're calculating simple interest. It's also important to note that time is annual, right? So yearly. So we want to make sure that time is annual or whole years, right? I'll show you at the very end if they throw out a monthly thing, what to do. So let's dive in and we'll get into these actual problems. So it says Mark wants to buy a new car. The bank will loan him $12,000 at 8.5% interest for 10 years. How much interest will he pay for the car? So let's look at our formula. I equals PRT, and we're going to highlight the most important parts. So that 12,000 is the initial principal, right? That's how much he's borrowing. That 8.7% is the rate. And obviously 10 years is the time. So I plug that information into my equation. 12,000 times 8.5%. Now here's the thing. Even though it's written as a percent, I really want to use a decimal when I put it into my formula. So if we think back to fractions, decimals, and percents, remember if I have a percent but I want a decimal, I go 1, 2 spaces to the left, Beyonce style. I can also use my decimals and do 8.5 divided by 100. And I still get that 0.085. Right? So we want to convert it to a decimal times that 10 years. And then, my lovely people, we just plug that into a calculator. So 12,000 times 0.085 times 10 years. And the amount of interest that Mark is going to pay is $10,200. Now, that's the answer to how much interest. There's two different ways that we can really ask this question. One would be how much interest, which is that 10,200, and the other way we could say how much does he have to pay back, which then we have to add back into the principal amount, right? Because the bank's not going to give you that for free. So make sure you're really answering the question that's being asked. Let's look at the second example, and maybe this will make a little more sense. This says Ruslan wants to buy a boat for some family fun. He borrows $7,500 from the bank at an interest rate of 4.5% over 3 years. What is the total amount Ruslan will pay back after those 3 years? So let's again write our formula. I equals PRT. So interest equals principal times rate times time. That 7,500 is the principal. That rate, oh, I covered it, is at 4.5%, and time is 3 years. So let's plug that in. 7,500 times, again, I'm going to convert that 4.5%, 0.045, times 3 years. Let's go over to our handy dandy calculator and figure that out. 0.045 times 3. And it is $1,012.50 in interest. But let's go back to our question. Let's clear out all this drama so we can really read it. It says, what is the total amount Ruslan will pay after three years? Well, on top of interest, he has to pay back his principal cost, right? That's what he borrowed from the bank. So we're going to now add in that 7,500 plus our interest, right? Because when you pay back a loan, you have to pay back what you borrowed plus that extra percent. So 7,500 plus $1,012.50, which means all together for that boat, he's going to pay $8,512.50, right? We have to add it back in if they're asking for the total amount that he's going to spend. All right, let's do one more. All right, for this next one, it says David purchased $2,000 worth of stock in Google, and he earned 15% interest annually. How much interest will David earn after 8 months? Okay, they're going to try to throw us for a loop here. So let's look. Interest equals principal times rate times time. Again, 2,000 is principal. 15% is the rate, and 8 months is the time. So we can't multiply by 8. 8 would be 8 years. He's only invested so far for 8 months. So let's look. Interest equals 2,000. I'm going to multiply that by 15%, 0.15. And then 8 months, I'm going to do 8 out of 12. So let's figure out 8 divided by 12. Ooh, that's at 0.66666 repeating, right? That repeating decimal. So I'm going to leave that in the calculator. Then when I go to answer my question, I'm going to bring down 8 months, right? That 0.666 repeating times my interest rate, 15%, times 2,000. And so far in interest, he's earned $200, right? Boom. And let's make sure we answer the question. How much interest? It says I equals. So yes, we've answered the question fully. So be careful if they throw in that months. We make it a fraction out of 12 because 12 months is 1 year. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions. Love ya. Bye.